I am an optimist. I believe in the future of American soccer. We are hosting a World Cup in 3.5 years, which is incredible. That is where all of our focus and energy should be in preparation on and off the field to make sure that we maximize that opportunity. And that should be the only thing that we are screaming and yelling about. Unfortunately, this is what not just the soccer world is talking about. But I don't know about you, but I'm getting calls from people that have no idea about soccer saying, dude, what's up with this? This is nuts. This is crazy. And again, there are probably more sides and facets to this to come out. The investigation continues on that Ernie Stewart started. And we come to find out that there were possibly more people in leadership positions at the United States Soccer Federation that were made aware of the situation with Gregg Berhalter and told about this. And so this will all ultimately be decided. Again, this is happening while Gregg Berhalter is potentially being considered to continue on for the national team. I think, as we said, nobody wins in this, including Gregg Berhalter. If he was under consideration before this all happened for the Federation, we have no reason to believe that he wasn't, to continue on. I think it's very, very difficult going forward, and it sucks. And he gets screwed in all of this to a certain extent because the Federation, especially given everything that's happened over the last few years and all of the different problems, it seems like there's another crisis every single month, they might just say, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth it, and it is too much baggage right now, and we just need to clean house. And so I'll leave you, and I want to hear your thoughts. If the intention by Claudio and Danielle was to not have Gregg Berhalter continue on as the United States men's national team coach because of the way their son Gio was treated in the World Cup. While this is not the way they necessarily wanted to get there, I think it still might end up like that. And that is amazing. It won't be without, incredible scars and lasting scars going forward for everybody involved. But Gio Reyna's not going anywhere. One of the great talents out there. And I hope that he continues to mature both on the field as a player and off the field as a young man. But he's going to be involved going up to the World Cup. And so he's not going anywhere. But it remains to be seen ultimately who is going to lead the U.S. Going forward. But this is sordid and ugly and, as I said, unnecessary. Mosse.
I mean, should we spin it forward at this point? I mostly agree with everything you said. I had my own thoughts, but otherwise the segment's going to be an hour if we...
I don't care. This is what people are talking about, Mosse. This is what people are talking about. It's okay. Don't you worry.
Now, listen.
Well, give me your thoughts.
I'm against violence towards women, obviously. I don't want to minimize
way to go out on a limb there.
But it was over 30 years ago. She forgave him. She reached out to him. They got past it. They rekindled their relationship. They ended up getting married. They've been happily married for 25 years. They have 4 kids. Nobody suggests this was anything other than an isolated incident. Anyone who knows Gregg Berhalter today thinks he's a good family man. So for this to get dredged up in this fashion, I do find very off-putting. You read that Danielle Reyna statement, and yeah, she says, you criticized Gio for loafing in practice. You did something pretty bad at that age, too. That is a weird connection to make, a weird place to go, especially when you're dealing with somebody who's ostensibly one of your closest friends. I mean, the Reynas and Berhalters have been good friends all these years, so very bad on the Reynas part. Berhalter, he did the worst thing out of anybody if you take it back 30 years, which is to hit a woman. But if we focus on the here and now of incidents relating to the 2022 World Cup, I question his handling of Gio, but it's sports stuff, coach and player stuff. There was nothing there that I thought was that inappropriate. Even the comments he made afterwards, people were so melodramatic about it. He's throwing a player under the bus. But, I mean, Pep Guardiola just called Calvin Phillips fat.
Right.
That's why isn't he playing? Because he's fat. Let's go through everything Jose Mourinho said about his players to the media over the year. That stuff happens. It was not that big a deal. It does not justify what the Reynas did. So, very bad on their part. And moving forward, the only thing I would say is I don't think Gregg Berhalter and Gio Reyna can coexist anymore.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
That would be too awkward. So if you're think Gio is one of the 3 or 4 key players that this team's going to be built around in the coming years.
And many people do.
That does affect your decision of whether you retain Gregg Berhalter for another cycle, which, by the way, was already very much in question anyway. You and I both feel like a coach staying around for a second cycle is not ideal unless you have a very compelling reason for keeping him. I think Gregg Berhalter did a pretty good job. I don't know that he did that great a job that you would keep him for another 4 years. So it was sort of questionable anyway, and now this happens. So when you take all the different factors into account, yeah, I don't expect him to be the coach moving forward.
But if there was a good chance that he was going to continue on, and again, I think both of us, I've talked about how I don't care how well you do at a World Cup. I don't think you should have multiple cycles. But I do think that the Federation can make a compelling case that he did enough to continue on, at least for the next couple of years, and we'll see how it goes. But if that was the thinking and the notion a week ago, and then this comes out and completely changes it, that again, it's sad.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.